A farewell that has brought both grief and anger. Park Won-soon's state-funded funeral has split public opinion in Seoul. Plans for a large outdoor memorial were scrapped in favor of a quieter service where mourners could join online. To some, Park was a respected politician and women's rights advocate. While I am devastated, heartbroken, and in shock. But above all, the fact that we lost a reliable politician saddens me the most. But to others, Park was a predator. His former secretary has accused him of abusing her for 4 years. Her lawyer spoke to reporters after the funeral. He sexually harassed the victim by kissing her bruised knee, saying that he would make it better. By requesting a hug and making physical contact after calling the victim into his office bedroom. By inviting the victim into a private chat room on Telegram. And by sending lewd text messages and pictures of him wearing only underwear. Officials have been tight-lipped about the allegations and complaint filed against Park. Activists are calling for the investigation to go ahead despite his death.
For more on that, let's cross to Seoul and our correspondent Frank Smith. Frank, why is this funeral so controversial?
Well, it's going to be a 5-day funeral, a 5-day memorial service for the former deceased mayor. Now, there is that online petition that you mentioned. Also, another conservative group tried to have an injunction put in place to prevent this 5-day funeral from taking place. It's a Seoul City funeral, and the petition suggested, and conservatives have suggested, that it would be more appropriate, given the nature of his death and the allegations against him, that there be a much more subdued 3-day sort of family funeral instead.
So what about the man himself? Tell us more about Park Won-soon.
Well, he's a former human rights lawyer. He actually represented women that were trying to sue the Japanese government for reparations for being enslaved sexually during the Japanese colonial period here in South Korea. He's also was head of South Korea's largest NGO for several years. And let's remember, he's a 3-term mayor. He was re-elected twice, and he's also been put forward as a strong candidate for the presidency of South Korea. There'll be a presidential election in 2022.
So what does this controversy around him and his death tell us about South Korea today?
Well, if we assume that the charges or allegations against him have some substance, it's questionable whether South Korea has really come that far. The mayor of Busan resigned earlier this year amid sexual assault allegations. A governor in South Korea a year and a half ago was given a 3.5-year sentence for rape and sexual assault of his former secretary. And the big news today, though, was this afternoon when representatives of the former secretary came forward and said that they wanted to see, her protected by the law. And she initially wanted to see an apology from the mayor, and it even expressed some remorse. She had allegedly been abused by the mayor in this way with messages and inappropriate contact for something like 4 years. And she also called for a probe and some countermeasures so that this doesn't continue to happen in South Korea.
Correspondent Frank Smith in Seoul. Thank you, Frank.